So, I'm Alexander Jayanty, born June 5th, 1984. Like I said, I have to actually do this because they're reporters have zero credibility. It's 12:53, August 7th. Mole on the right hand, penguin duck birthmark from Teresa Matarana Jayanty's womb, not crime family. More evidence of zero credibility. Just a regular old Matarana. Now, one. So these people have psychiatric illness holding me hostage with their technology, and they always try to make everyone else look psychotic. It's really weird. They're so creepy, it's scary. One, they hold people hostage via neural implants and implantable devices. Key sign of psychiatric illness. Two, or homicidal behavior. Two, well, that is psychiatric illness. Two, they don't know what informed consent is and think they're researchers who don't even know how to do research and don't even know what a confounder is. Research and don't know what confounders are, or experimental design, or errors in instrumentation, and then they rely on technology that they don't even know how to authenticate. They also rely on evidence that they don't know how to authenticate, and some even kill and harm people based off of evidence they don't even know how to authenticate. That's really weird. Signs of psychiatric illness are more than inhuman stupidity, at least a red flag. So more keys. Some of them conspire to plan to rape mankind of their free will and put devices in people's brains around the world and control the world with information and blackmail. They wanted to rape mankind of their free will. I'd say that's a red flag for psychiatric illness, amongst other things. Another key point. They're holding me hostage, and they think we're friends, and it's friendly. They're holding me hostage, and they think we're friends, and it's friendly, and they think I'm cool with people who are holding me hostage against my will, stalking me, invading my privacy, stealing my intellectual property, and then slandering me with malice. And they think it's not a big deal that they're slandering me with malice. That leads to people potentially harming me and attempting murder on me. More signs of psychiatric illness and red flags. They don't even think murder is a big deal. They don't even think rape's a big deal. Some of them are trying to propose the art. They don't think having private time is a big deal and actually stalk me as a community and interact with my genitals against my will and use experimental technology on me that they don't even have evidence-based proof to prove it's harmless. They're like, oh, it's experimental. So-and-so, who we're not even sure if so-and-so really is so-and-so, said it's harmless. And then they believe it. So they don't even know who they're talking to. They just think it's someone. They have some virtual image maybe of someone that they're relying on a computer, and they've seen deep fakes. And so they just believe it, and then they think since he said it's harmless, but they don't even ask for evidence-based proof. And then if they ask for evidence-based proof, he doesn't provide it. So that's kind of fishy. And then not to mention, whoever is using this tech has more than conflicts of interest, such as a multi-trillion-dollar lawsuit, life in prison, and the death penalty. Yeah, it's harmless. Don't sue me. It's harmless. Yeah, and they believe that guy. So more evidence of psychiatric illness and red flags. But they also don't think terrorism and RICO is a big deal. They don't even know what a RICO is. They don't even know that illegal gambling, betting manipulation, witness tampering, conspiracy to murder, attempts of murder, obstruction of justice, tax evasion. They don't even know that's a RICO. So another red flag, and more evidence of psychiatric illness and also criminal behavior. At least a big red flag. Because some of these guys do know what they're doing, and they know they're criminals, they're just liars. But I guess it's still psychiatric illness because, if they're pathological liars, where their lies endanger humanity and endanger human life, I'd say psychiatric illness as well. And if you don't have remorse for that, I'd say that's psychiatric illness too. Those are features of some psychiatric illnesses. Highly manipulative, no remorse for your behavior, get pleasure from abusing human life and sexually assaulting disabled people. I'd say that's key features of certain psychiatric illness that for some reason, another weird thing is people see these things, but it doesn't set off the red flag. So that's more evidence of psychiatric illness on them if they're not seeing these red flags. That's another key red sign of psychiatric illness, or a red flag, at least if they're seeing these repeated features and the red flags aren't going off. That's another key point. But yeah, look at my red flag list. It's in the cell phone text, my 832-917-2976 number and my 713-412-7665 numbers. It's on my Facebook data. It's in emails. It's in my methods of analysis. It's all over the place. They're mine. They're not bolognas. And I mean, these kids still rely on bologna about data when literally he's stolen every piece of data that comes from me. And he actually thinks he owns it. And he's never asked me for permission for anything. He just steals it and thinks he owns stuff that was never his. He actually thinks he can just make up stuff and be like, I own it. And he thinks he can just make up false claims of slander and claim he owns people and owns stuff when he's slandering everyone. A big red flag. More evidence of psychiatric illness. Yeah, these kids think they can slander everyone, but if you list them as a suspect in crimes when they are suspects, that's slander. But then they think other people owe them for supposed slander, which isn't even slander, but they don't owe anyone for slander. More evidence of psychiatric illness, red flag. Big time red flag. So, yeah, it's really interesting. So you can list suspects who are suspects and they claim slander, but then they can just manufacture fake videos of you peddle slander, slander this, slander that, and they don't owe you for slander. But if you list them as a suspect of crimes, which they are suspects of crimes, that's slander, and then they think that you owe them more. So anyone entertaining that, red flag, and whoever thinks that and trying to use that argument, red flag. So another key point. But look at my list of red flags. You'll pick up on all sorts of jazz. But those are some key red flags. Praise Jesus.